we're doing an event for Twin Cities Business. It's on outstanding corporate directors. So I just wanted to ask you a few quick questions that will be showing at the event. What do you think of corporate directors?
Let's see.
I think it's somebody that's making a lot more money than he should be making.
I really don't have much thought about them. I think they probably make too much money.
What do you think of when you hear the phrase corporate director?
No comment.
Leader of the business, someone that has an eye on all employees and looks out for the well-being of the company.
What do you think of when you hear the phrase corporate governance?
Blank mind. I don't have a lot of thoughts about that.
I think management of corporate resources.
Well, corporate governance means just pretty much what you're saying, responsible governance of not only for the shareholders but the community and all the stakeholders in the company. That's what I think of it. But I'm a lawyer, so maybe I get more detail than other people.
What do you think of when you hear the phrase board of directors?
Not much.
I'm going to pass. Thank you.
Honestly? Just a bunch of old white men sitting around the table.
People that should be running the show.
Corporation, people that are kind of guiding the company in the direction of it.
A bunch of directors sitting around talking about strategy and talking about, company policies.
Can we ask you a couple quick questions? Okay. I feel like I'm trying to hand out flyers. Can we ask you a couple questions? How do you think boards of directors are doing in general nowadays?
I think they could do a little more reflection on what the choices they're making are.
Well, I think for themselves, they're doing very, very well. They're definitely making the businesses a whole lot of money, but they're not necessarily focused as much because that's not necessarily their job on the workers at the businesses or kind of the country at large.
I think they're doing pretty good. I think it's been a hard economy, and I think they're doing the best they can, most of them.
I guess I don't think of any of them as better than any others. I don't think that overall they're terrible.
Overall, I think it's pretty good. Putting yourself in their shoes, they have a lot of decisions to make, tough decisions that can go either way. So I think they're doing overall pretty well.
I think they're a little more conscientious than they were a few years ago because, some of them have gotten into trouble by not paying attention. And it's probably a little bit less of an honorary title. People, if they take the job, really should expect to do something.
Are there any other companies where you think, wow, they must have a really good board of directors?
There's financial results. Some companies are doing real well. Ones that come to mind, Polaris, for example, is one company that, despite the industry they're in, they have done well in good times and in bad, and in an industry that would be tough, and they're really expanding, and so I'd have to say that they're doing well. That's probably the one that comes to mind most.
I think, certain companies have reputations, the big guys, 3M, Target, Medtronic. Until recently, I'm not too sure they thought out that tax inversion thing real well in terms of the PR blowback. But otherwise, they seem to be well-governed companies generally.
How about any companies where you think, okay, now there's a place where maybe they need to change out their board of directors?
Well, I'll stay out of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there certainly are some. You look at the news and just the ones that are either going through really tough financial times or are, maybe having some ethical issues at times and things like that. I'm not sure which ones would come to mind, though.
Well, the Target's been having a hard time. That's been, and then now with the whole Home Depot. I mean, I don't understand how they don't tell us sooner these things happen with the credit cards and stuff.
Of course, the government could use a lot of work.
Can we ask you a couple quick questions?
No, sorry.
Okay. Excuse me, sir, can we ask you a couple questions? Excuse me, sir, could I ask you a couple questions? Excuse me, sir, could we ask you a couple questions? Okay. The people with ties on are most reluctant. Sir, could we ask you a couple questions?